said don't do crystal meth in the bathroom all night long.
That's my opinion!
He will never emotionally fulfill you.
Because I don't want to be a part of it.
Go to sleep! Go to sleep!
Close your legs to married men, trash box.
I'll tell you how I'm doing. Not well, bitch.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Welcome to Morally Corrupt. I'm Rachel Lindsay. She is Callie Curry. We're jumping right in. We've got 3 recaps. Salt Lake City is dominating. We're going to top it off with that. But before we get into the recaps, I just want to let you guys know that next week, we will be reporting from BravoCon. Friend of the podcast, Megan Croft, will be joining. I know you guys love when she comes on the Tuesday show to cover the news. So we will be boots on the ground. I'll be hosting some panels on Saturday, so we will be giving you all the tea that we see, that we hear, that we learn from other podcasters. I know we're having a podcast dinner one day. There's going to be so many things going on next week, and we will be right there in the mix of it. So just to let you guys know, our posting schedule will be a bit in flux, but you can expect us to chat about all the juicy details, of course, from everything that's going on in Vegas. So stay tuned for that. Very excited and a bit overwhelmed. Because it's always like, I never feel like I can just ease into BravoCon. I never get to just say, hey, I'm just going to go to Vegas and I'm just going to, enjoy a day. No, I'm coming in from Orlando and
wait, why?
I'm hosting a 2-day conference, Ad Color. I'm very excited about that, though. I've never been. And every way I twist and turn, somebody's like, you're hosting Ad Color? I'm going to be there. Or, friends from across the country are like, hey, I'm going to be
I didn't know
Ad
Color was in Orlando this year.
It is in Orlando this year. So I'm doing it with Spotify, hosting both days. So all day events, it will be fun. But between that and then, of course, still having to podcast for higher learning, I'm going to be exhausted by the time I fly in to Vegas. But nonetheless, still very excited. And also very excited to talk about not Potomac. Sorry. Not excited to talk about Potomac. Salt Lake City. But we will get to Potomac. Salt Lake City. We are still on the yacht, Callie, and we are not skipping a beat. We start the episode with Bronwyn sleeping on the deck. Bronwyn stayed up. I mean, obviously she and Brittany got into it before. We were wondering from the get-go when the rooms were assigned how this was going to work. And it shouldn't be surprising that they didn't sleep in the same room. I guess the surprising thing was Bronwyn in all her fabulous glory in her, lemon pajamas, is sleeping on the deck, and it rained on her. And that's how we start the episode.
I will say that Bronwyn on Watch What Happens Live was like, we had no AC in our room. It was really hot. Yeah. She said it was really hot, and I was not about to sleep in a room, A, with Brittany, B, with no AC on a boat. Like, she was like, that's a recipe to get sick. So I at least wanted fresh air, and that's why I slept on the deck, which I was like, that makes a lot more sense. Because I was like, I'm not sleeping on a deck. But after hearing they didn't have AC, like, I'm not about to be cooped up in a room with no AC on a boat swaying back and forth.
Yeah, hot,
which the water must be rough because a lot of them are struggling.
Yeah, or they're just not used to yacht life. I don't know. But I mean, just they've been drinking the sun. I'm not used to yacht life. So I don't even know why that shit came out of my mouth.
I think the water's rough.
And okay.
Because even some of the ones that aren't fully throwing up, you see them randomly go,
Yeah, they're borderline seasick, but yeah, yes, they're probably dehydrated as well. Which does not help.
They're borderline seasick and they're fighting and drinking and in the sun and not doing what you need to do when you're seasick.
Yeah, everybody's coming up hungover, but we get Angie back, which is exciting. And boy, Angie doesn't miss a beat. Angie's like, I took 24 hours off. I've been cooped up in my room with a toilet. I am so mad I missed out about whatever happened the day before, and I'm coming back strong. And this is why we love Angie. She can barely walk, and she's like, but I'm here. But still I rise.
But still I rise. And rise she did within moments of sitting down with the girls, getting into the drama. She inserted herself pretty quickly, and I laughed out loud.
Which part?
When she told Lisa, you told me that your friend saw Todd making out with a hot friend while farting at the same time. What? I could not believe what she said. And I also was like, what's worse?
As Mary broke down too, the farting is worse.
I think the farting's worse.
The farting is worse because let's just say none of it's true. We don't know if it's true, but we do know that Lisa said it because she did admit to saying it. And she didn't hear from the woman it was happening with. It was from another person. But the rumor, okay, somebody saw somebody make out with your husband. Cool. Not cool, but okay. But that he was additionally farting is just so embarrassing to Todd. I said to myself, there is no way that Bronwyn can continue this show for another season and stay married. The way Todd is dragged through the mud and the brunt of every joke, there's just like, they can't stay married and her continue to do the show. It is so detrimental to Todd's reputation. And I know that he doesn't care, but the things that are being said about Todd are so outrageous that he has to care. Who's going to look at Todd at this point and not see him farting?
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm going to think of at this point. When I see Todd, he's going to be farting.
It's also tough because Todd's older.
Mm-hmm.
And he certainly did snatch that cherry quickly off her sundae. He's a little curmudgeon-y. I'm just like, I can see him farting.
But while making out, he got so comfortable and so loose, like he completely let go.
So you think it's true?
I don't know. It's
a weird thing to make up.
It's passed through so many different people because it's like it happened between two people. Somebody allegedly witnessed it. Then they went and told, or either they witnessed it or the girl told somebody who then told Lisa. Mm-hmm. And Lisa told Angie. And now Angie's telling the group. It's passed through too many people.
But I assumed when Angie told the group, I was waiting for Lisa to be like, I didn't say that. Instead, Lisa was like, I'm sorry.
You know why I think Lisa said it? Because Lisa didn't care saying it because she's like, somebody told me this. It's not Lisa saying, I saw it. It's, this information was told to me. I don't know if it was true or not. It's just me gossiping with my girlfriend about some crazy rumor that I heard. That's why I think Lisa was down to own it because she's like, I didn't say it. I'm just telling what somebody told me. That's the only reason. But what Lisa doesn't realize is last episode, we are saying that you are the person who is tapped into all these rumors. And and God love Angie. Angie wasn't even there for this drama, but Angie knew to pick up the baton as it was passed to her the next day and say, actually, no, Lisa, you are that person because this is what you told me. This is a rumor that nobody knows. You are always tapped into the rumors, which, we start this episode with Heather getting a flashback of Heather trying to rectify her relationship with Lisa after saying, no, Lisa, I do think that you're tied to it. And for some reason thinks they're going to be okay. Then we also start off of not Bronwyn just waking up, Bronwyn also just trying to enjoy the morning with a cup of coffee and reading a book. And she is subjected to hearing Lisa and Brittany talking shit about her. It's so good.
It's so really good. And then Mary and Angie coming up there at the tail end of it. I'm like, you couldn't script this. You couldn't script it. And walk up the tail end of it, and Bronwyn just goes straight in. Like, I got to wake up to them talking shit about me. Blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just, I can't imagine coming up for air. Like, Angie hasn't seen Angie and Mary, but Angie hasn't seen air in 24 hours.
Yeah. Coming
up to the top for fresh air and immediately just like, bam, this is what's happening.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you go from that to her telling this rumor and the reenactment of her taking her hair and covering up her mouth. That's how I knew it was true because I was like,
She
I knew it was
remembers.
true because the way I could totally see Lisa doing that, trying to cover it up at the table. Then you go from Bronwyn completely loses her mind, as she should, right? Because in her mind, she's probably like, what is more embarrassing? As Mary breaks down in a confessional, the fact that my husband is once again tied to infidelity, or the fact that he was also farting in the midst of his infidelity. And so she takes that back and they show her sitting in a room on the bed, staring at a wall. And you know, through her mind what's going through her mind is exactly what the producers play over, which is Todd telling her, I don't know why you want to go on this trip. I don't know why you want to be friends with Lisa. This is an Emmy-worthy episode. And we are what, 10 minutes in?
By the way, I was thinking like she can't even call Todd because she's like, I know his ass is about to be like, I told you Lisa was gonna do some dumb shit.
Yep.
And I'm sure while she's sitting there on the bed, she's thinking, I can't call Todd. Lisa, what happened to our truce? We can't even go 10 fucking minutes without you saying some shit about my family. Did he cheat again? Like, all these things are happening. Was he farting? Embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
And she's got to go back.
Why did I come on this trip?
And she's got to go back and tell Todd at this point.
And then I was going to say, then finally she's like, he told me not to come. I came. This comes out and it's about him. So not only did I come, she do some fuck shit, trying to ruin my time, but then eventually gonna find out she said this about him anyways. So I have to go back and tell Todd that she said these things, which on Watch What Happens Live, Andy asked her, like, you had to go back and tell Todd.
Yeah.
And asked her, like, how did that go? And she was like, it's not an aphrodisiac. I can tell you that. Which I have to say, like, I like Bronwyn more and more. I even like that she was like, you know what? She's not going to ruin my day. I'm about to go have a good time. That is what I want in a housewife.
I know. But she did, for a second, she did let it ruin her day.
Yes.
Because
but then she went back and collected.
She went back and she collected. And I think the shock of hearing it is what her response was, which fair. It totally should be that. But then I think she had to sit in her room and like, it's so outrageous. It's hilarious. The thought of somebody making out and farting, because I'm like, were they SBDs? Were they loud farts? Like, it's like all of that is playing through my mind and I'm sure it's playing through her mind, that she eventually has to sit there and be like, you know what? I just have to laugh about it because at some point I'm going to have to go home and relay this story to Todd. And do I want to relay it in an angry way? Or do I want to say, let me tell you the ridiculous rumor that they came up with this time. And I need Todd to laugh about it. I'm expecting Todd to come to it is like, the more I think about it, the more funny it is. And I'm hoping
Todd going to BravoCon?
I doubt it. But I'm hoping it's a lot. I just can't see Todd coming. And he can't come. This is too close. I
need someone to ask him, like, what was your reaction to the rumor? Like, I want to see if he's laughing or not.
Well, somebody will ask Bronwyn that at the Q&A. Somebody will say, what was Todd's reaction to hearing about it? Did Andy, I didn't watch What Happens Live. Did Andy ask Bronwyn?
He asked her, like, he was trying to ask that, but she just responded being like, it's not fun. It's not fun for me to have to tell him these things.
Yeah. He
didn't follow up with like, well, what was his reaction?
Yeah. I'm sure somebody's going to ask at that. And on a side note, that the audience Q&A is the gift that keeps on giving at BravoCon. It is what makes BravoCon. If they ever take that away, because the first year at BravoCon, it's like PR must have not had conversations because they were telling things about their season and talking about it. And then PR swooped in. And so now there's just so much that is not said from the stage unless it comes through the Q&A, because the audience is not restricted in any way. And that's the beauty of BravoCon. So somebody will ask that question and we will be there to report on it. As Bronwyn's gathering herself in the room and they eventually decide to have an activity to get off the boat. Thank you, Heather. That was very much so needed. I love the moment where Bronwyn is still obviously upset. I can't remember who she's talking to, maybe Whitney. And she's like, and she's sitting there and she's like, I'm over here dealing with this revelation that you made, not just about my husband, not just about infidelity, not just about him passing gas, but also the fact that you broke the truce. And I am realizing that you are dead to me and we can never be friends. And I'm so bothered by this. And they pan the camera over to Lisa and she's just sitting there getting a massage, soaking up the sun, getting a massage, talking about how good this feels. And I'm like, this is what I'm talking about, Emmy worthy.
Then Angie makes a joke about the fart.
No, Heather does.
Oh,
Heather
Heather. And someone was like, too soon? And Bronwyn was like, yes, too soon.
She goes, fuck you. Yeah, too soon. But laughs about it.
Yeah, she laughs.
And then she goes off and enjoys the day. And what I also find...
By the way, that's what makes me think the rumor's not true. It makes me think that they all knew that it was just some crazy rumor that they heard. Because the fact that they're all like laughing and willing to make a joke about it, if they thought it was like very, very serious, like, oh my God, she just found out her husband cheated on her, I don't think that they would be acting the way they are about it.
No, I think you're right. And I think the seriousness comes from Bronwyn and Lisa sitting down, having a conversation, saying that there was this truce. And as quickly as you can violate that, you do. And that's where it's like, they cannot be friends. Bronwyn's like, I don't even know if we can be in the same room together. But something interesting comes about is that Heather realizes that she enjoys being with Bronwyn. And it's this thing of, well, and she makes a comment, I wish I would have written it down, where she's like, what I was fixated basically on Bronwyn being annoying to me or Bronwyn irritating me. And I wasn't even giving her the opportunity for us to actually develop a friendship. And it's interesting at the timing of it that you're able to do this when you're basically not sucking up to Lisa. You and Lisa have a rift. So it opens up the door for you to explore other relationships. And you realize you and Bronwyn have a good time. And Bronwyn's fun. As we see her later bring the blow up outfits. She's got the cool octopus zombie thing for their zombie
very cool, by
dinner.
the way.
Yeah, like she's fun. And I liked seeing them have a good time together. And, you know, yeah, when you were able to separate yourself from Lisa, you leave Lisa on the beach, basically having issues now with Meredith. And you and Bronwyn are able to like gallivant together in the ocean and explore new things and be BFFs, which was fun to see.
I do think in general, Bronwyn is fun. I think Lisa's like the quote unquote popular girl, but she's not fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it'll be interesting. Do you think that Meredith stands up for Lisa?
I think she doesn't stand up for her in the way that most people would like. Meredith doesn't really get involved in the drama. That is Meredith. Meredith is being Meredith. And I think it's out of her character to step up and say, no, I know Lisa, she would never do this. She disengages. It's how we've met Meredith. And it's probably behind closed doors in one-on-one conversations. Yeah, maybe she is a little bit more vocal, but that's Meredith. You're asking Meredith to do something that Meredith doesn't do. I don't think it says that she believes the things that are being said, but if you want more from Meredith, you're just not going to get that. And that's something that Lisa's going to have to reconcile. I will say, if Meredith was my friend, I would want her to speak up, though. I would want her to not just be sitting there while everybody's talking about me and not say, hey, guys, maybe we should wait till Lisa gets here. Hey, guys, we know Lisa, blah, 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 blah. I would be pissed off. I would want you to have my back in rooms I'm not in.
I would agree with you. My only, comeback would be, I don't know if Lisa necessarily stands up for Meredith 10 toes down either. Meredith doesn't get talked about as much.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But later on, when Meredith is going back and forth with Brittany, Lisa's just sitting there.
Yeah. Definitely Tamra vibes in the sense that the type of friend that Lisa expects you to be to her, you are not that type of friend to them.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely the vibes that are being given out. So yeah, that's a really good point. I definitely understand that. But if I'm Lisa, I'm frustrated. Like as much as people talk about me, I need you to have my back a little bit more. You obviously have an opinion. I need you to say something. But I'm going to go take some of that back. It's almost a little wrong of Lisa to expect that from Meredith when you shitted on her so badly a few seasons ago.
We have to get over that.
You can get over it. And Meredith has gotten over it. But you know how you can get over something in a friendship, but you have boundaries now because you've shown yourself the type of friend. We have too much history where I'm not going to totally write you off, but I know the type of friend you can be. So I have boundaries.
Yeah, like I'm not about to stick my neck out for you.
And I think that is totally fair.
I think that's fair too. I wish Meredith would just say that instead of get defensive.
I can't go back to there's no way after that somebody can go back being the exact same friend to you. And that's a choice. Like some people just are like, if I can't be the full friend that I am, then I've got to write you off. Some people are like, I'm just a little bit more cautious in my friendship with you. She probably doesn't tell Lisa everything either. They're not as close. They're never going to be as close as they were prior to that hot mic situation. That's just the reality of it. But you're right. She should absolutely say it. Whoever thought of the zombie idea, themed dinner, this is what I mean about like, things are so specific to Salt Lake City. It's campy. It's wild enough to where the looks are going to match the personalities. It's just such a perfect thing. Oh, wait, side note, before we even get to the dinner, we have to talk about, and this might have been at the dinner, I can't even remember, but Lisa's so casually shitting on Brittany. And Brittany just accepts it. When they accuse, so it is before the zombie dinner, they accuse Brittany. Brittany's like, I didn't want to, Meredith's like, sorry, so many names here. Bronwyn's like, I didn't want to sleep in the room with you anyway. And also you were bringing men into your room late at night. And Brittany's like, what are you talking about? And then Meredith kind of jumps in of like, you had Captain Jason coming into your room. And she's like, I just had him fixing the air. And she's like, no, but you tried to get him to come into your room that night. And then Lisa turns to Daisy and she's like, Jason's obviously not into Brittany. Like, isn't that ridiculous? Like, Jason obviously doesn't want Brittany. He has
no interest.
Just totally
Zero.
Shitting on Brittany.
And Brittany was kind of like...
She's like, right, Daisy?
Brittany was like, I don't want to like act like I care, but like you might have a little bit. Like, chill out, calm down. Daisy was like, I am not getting involved in this at all. I am not in this conversation. Did you see Christina Applegate? Christina? Is it Christina or Christine?
Yeah,
Christina?
she said, Christina Applegate. She said that they were rude. I didn't know I saw that before I watched the episode, so I wasn't sure what moment she was talking about.
She's talking about this dinner. She said they were so rude. They didn't even acknowledge Captain Jason coming to sit down. They didn't acknowledge Daisy and someone else, somebody else that served them. And like, how rude. These people are my friends. And then she like retracted it and was like, sorry guys, I was just watching the show and I didn't like it, but I love you guys and you guys are awesome. I don't know if she talked to Jason and Daisy and they were like, it's fine. Everyone's producing a show. I have no idea.
I saw it.
Somebody said something to her.
You know what my thought was when I saw it? Everybody loves Salt Lake City.
I cannot wait to watch the other version of it because we're going to get the Below Deck episode of this. So we get to see who was rude, how flirty was Brittany with Captain Jason. Like the cameras are going to be on the other side of this and it'll be
Will you text me when that comes on?
Interesting to see who they like and dislike. Yeah.
Because I don't watch Below Deck, but you're right. I definitely want to see these episodes.
Bronwyn on Watch What Happens Live was like, they definitely have big opinions about us. So I was like, oh.
And they're supposed to. They've got a show to film as well.
I know. But they have a show to film as well. But also like, you get an idea of how people treat people.
Yeah.
On Below Deck when we get the staffer's point of view. So I'm excited to see who is nice and not nice.
Yeah, no, for sure. Last thing, the women are we end with them at the zombie themed dinner. Angie, we have the inflatable costumes, which I love, which carry into the next episode. Such a good idea. Angie slams her finger in a door, which for me was very triggering because I did the same thing 2 weeks ago. Halloween weekend, I got my nail stuck in the slit of a door, freak accident. It ripped it off to the skin. It's like, and so hers was bleeding. It's the same thing, but my nail completely ripped off, which we're back. By the way, it took 9 days for it to fully heal before I could put a nail on it, but it's more vulnerable without a nail on it. So I felt Angie's pain, but she's handling it so well, by the way. She's really
she's really been through a lot.
Yeah,
Angie, you know who earlier when you said they're not built for boat life?
Yeah.
Angie is not built for boat life. Angie needs to stay on solid ground.
She's not built for it, but she is really trying to rally and not being like, she could easily be just miserable about it, get me off this boat.
Yeah.
And
that would be me, by the way. I am going home.
Yeah, if I'm seasick, I'm going home too. So, but we do appreciate her service. And I just want to thank her for that.
Thank you for your time.
And the fact that Bronwyn's yelling in the background, no, let it bleed. It goes with the zombie theme. I'm like, these women are unhinged. They're unhinged. And then it doesn't stop there. We get there. Brittany throws up on the side of the boat. And then,
by the way, the way she was throwing up, I was like, lean over. Like, you're
put your hand
up.
down. Put your hand down, you sicko.
Take your hair. Put your hair back. Like, her hair was just down next to her face, throwing up. The whole thing really, I've seen too much throw up go into the ocean in 1 week.
I thought to myself, she really must be sick because she's not thinking about any of the logistics here. She's just trying to like get away from the women.
Yeah.
Then she comes back, she takes a shot, and Meredith criticizes her. And then she goes in on Meredith saying that she saw a TikTok, which then they show her playing the TikTok for Whitney, which I'm like, where's Whitney been this whole trip?
I know.
Which the only person who wins from that entire argument is the TikToker who gets the shout out. But this TikToker telling the story about Seth and this Uber woman and all this stuff and him having a mistress. Thank you though, Brittany, because it ignites Meredith, who loses it, and rightfully so, because it's just so outrageous. It's just from one TikTok. She's like, Brittany's like, everybody's talking about it. They're like, no, just you and now Whitney, because you've shown it to her.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I love how Meredith's like, well, to have a mistress, you have to be married. And that is not you. And Jared breaks up with you every other day. And yeah,
I just like the way Meredith fights. She's like, you are deranged. I'm like, why does she talk like that when she gets mad? It's like she wants every single sound to be heard.
You know who else talks like that? They are not the same person. When they get like a fire lit under them and they get activated, Stephen Miller. They pronounce every syllable. He's like, and what we are going to do is go back and look at Stephen Miller. This is our political crossover for the episode. He does the exact same thing.
I was thinking of Housewives when you were like, you know who else does that? And then you said Stephen Miller. That really threw me off. But true. I don't know what happens to some people, but they need every sound to be heard. And Meredith is one of them. And then she throws her knife headband and then asks for it back. Captain Jason comes out with the apple pie. I don't know. She's eating some sort of dessert. And then they like zoom in on Heather and she's like, by the way, this is delicious. And takes a big bite. I'm like, it was just complete chaos.
It's Emmy worthy. We literally could do the entire episode on this. We'll touch on the others because there's not a whole lot going on. But then we get the preview and we're still on the boat. Mm-hmm. And we get so much. And then we know that apparently Meredith loses her mind on the plane. And the fact that she says, if it was as bad as y'all say, the air marshals would have been waiting for me when I got off.
She's like, obviously it wasn't that bad. I'm like,
I can't.
So how bad was it if that's what you're thinking?
Tuesday easily becoming my favorite day of the week. Going up on a Tuesday has a totally new meaning. Let's, before we get out of here, briefly touch on highlights from Potomac and OC. We'll start with Potomac. These ladies are also on an island, but we're just not getting the same stuff. We just seem to be going in circles, but they're still in Nevis. We watched them go to Alexander Hamilton's house, snooze fest. Like, snooze fest. We watched them go there.
The only thing that I got from this episode
was that.
For me. Sometimes new people work. Sometimes new people don't work. I know we're not that far into this season. Love Tia.
Love her.
Love that she's able to like roll with the punches. You can make fun of her. She'll make fun of other people. She doesn't understand things, so she'll ask for clarity on things that are embarrassing to give clarity on. Great. Angel, I am confused. I don't understand which version of you are. I understand you just had a baby, so I think that that's a big reason for a lot of it. Like, she's still trying to find her footing. Her personality being a wag is like not for me at all. I don't need to tell anyone that my husband sent me $5,000. Also, I don't know if I'm the only one that had this thought. Why does your husband need to send you $5,000? You can't go spend $5,000?
I definitely had that thought.
She was bragging like, yeah, he gave me a little shopping money, a little $5,000. Great, I guess. But I'm like, why does you can't spend money? I was so confused why she needed to announce that. Why she thought that obviously $5,000 is a lot of money. But first of all, we're in Nevis. Where are you shopping? To Wendy's point.
Did she say art?
Yes, she said art. And Wendy being like, you ain't gonna be able to spend $5,000 at this little book shop. Like, what are we talking about here? But her announcing it, her saying he did it, there was multiple things throughout. I texted Bobby sex. Why? I don't need to know.
Yeah, she texted Bobby, then she was like, Bobby was ready to get on a jet.
The
but
private
it's like,
one.
Didn't need to say that. Just Bobby was upset. That is something you can say.
And honestly,
that
not
sense.
that upset. He's not here.
Yeah. It's I know people like that who, so funny because there's a viral article going around about, is it embarrassing to have a boyfriend in 2025? But the gist of that, we talk about it on Higher Learning, shameless plug. But the gist of it is that people are over women centering their men in their life, right? Angel is a woman who centers her man. Nobody's like, love that, like, you have a beautiful relationship with your husband.
Family,
like you have each other, you're down for each other. Love seeing that. Love having an actual housewife on the show. But love that he's also on camera. He seems to be involved. But
supportive.
You constantly reminding everyone about it is exhausting and unnecessary. And it's like becoming part of your personality. Like you don't have anything else to talk about other than talking about the fact that you are married and your husband's always doing these things for you. So that makes me feel sorry for her in a little bit of a way. Yeah, that's that. And I need her to figure out who she is. Right?
That's my thing. I feel like the baby
thing.
is what's making her. I'm like, she's got to figure out who she is.
But not
on this show.
I'm not a mom. So I don't know, but she's had the baby, 19 months ago or 9 months ago?
Long?
It's either 9 or 19 months.
Oh, I thought it was
I thought that's what Tia said.
Oh, I thought that's what Tia said. I thought the baby was way younger. But
yeah, I thought that. But it's like, and so I don't know if that affects what's going on right now. But like, you are one way with the women. It's like, oh, I slept on it, so then I'm different now. No, you talked to
Kierna.
Kay. Yeah, you talked to Kay, and then you had a different opinion.
You all worked up. Yeah.
So it's like she's a chameleon. She becomes one person with one group and one person with another. And I just need Angel to figure that out. And I'm really curious if at BravoCon that's 100% going to be brought up. And I just need her to address it. I need her to address it. I hope they don't ask her the filter question because that's just going to be really embarrassing at BravoCon because it's going to be shady.
I don't even care about the filters. You use too many filters. A lot of people do. Just own it. And it wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Anything else? Nothing really. The whole Chris Samuels thing didn't go anywhere. So like you had this big T, Ashley, you put it out there and we got nothing with it. Angel was really the topic of the entire show. OC, my biggest thing with OC, because I expressed my frustration last episode. Tamra, we don't even get Gretchen till the end. So I feel like second episode is really going to be where things thrive. We catch up with the women. You know, we get updates on, Emily and her family situation. Katie's there. We're getting a little bit of Katie, but Katie is still Katie holding. I'm more interested in the fact that her husband joins her because I want to get down to that. I'm loving Jen. I love that Jen has the number one seat. Jen looks great. She's got the number one seat and she really has found her voice. And it seems like in this next episode, she's really like, no, Katie, this is how it goes. But I'm frustrated I really appreciated Jen saying, Tamara, you're in therapy. And in therapy, you look in the mirror and at some point you got to say, am I the problem? And Tamara still can't really say that. She's like, can't say what she's ready to own up to, can't say what she's ready to apologize for. And Shannon kind of calls it out. I do love the Tamara shade of, Shannon, you be quiet at the end of the couch, because that was the shade of, I'm at the front seat, you're at the end of the couch.
I didn't really want Tamara at the front seat, if I'm honest with you, based off her performance at this reunion. She kept telling, like, her little, like, girl, and, like, kept saying, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we actually have a conversation, or are you two?
No,
she didn't want to have the conversation. Even her and Andy were going at it when Andy was like, you're proving my point. You just brought up two different things from years ago.
Yeah, she was definitely doing the I know you are, but what am I type argument, which we hate so much. You got to be better than that. It's the cycle of, and Shannon was calling it out, anytime you are confronted with something that you've done, it's, well, I'm going through the hardest time in my life. I'm going through this. You become a victim, but you don't give that same grace. It was a great point by Shannon. I was clearly going through the hardest time in my life, or one of them, because we've seen Shannon go through a lot, but a really hard time. But there was no grace given to me. But let's give all the grace to you as you are struggling with your friend going through something that's very difficult. And I just wanted Tamara to be like, you're right.
She can't.
She can't. So
also, for some reason, she was on Shannon's ass. Like, Shannon couldn't say or do anything more than Gretchen. She was on Shannon's ass the entire reunion.
Yeah, she really was.
Tamara cannot take accountability for everything. Everything's always her fault. If I do something, it's because you did this. It's never, I just did something wrong.
Right.
And even at one point, again, I know people love Tamara. Even at one point when Gretchen was like, you're right. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry. I'm like, if Tamara could just say that once or twice, we could get to a better place.
No, for sure.
But she cannot. So.
No, she can't do it. And it's becoming so frustrating. Like, Katie's frustrating in a completely different way. And we acknowledge that. Even it's so funny when she was talking about Gina and having said, Gina's like, I wish if you had felt this way that you would have come to me rather than going to Kiki. And she's like, I thought me and Kiki, we were bonding. And I swear she said earlier, made it seem like she doesn't get close to the bloggers, or she didn't, I don't know, maybe she did. But it's so interesting that you thought you were best friends with Kiki Monique.
With a blogger. Or a journalist.
A journalist, yeah. Like, Kiki's more than that, but
still, it's someone whose job relies on getting information from you.
Right. And at the end of the day, I just wish Katie would be like, I was shitting on it. Like, yeah, I was talking shit. Just say, I was talking shit about the ladies.
Yeah.
And I didn't think it was going to come out. Just say that. And I think people would feel better about the situation. We don't even need to know all the details. Just say, yeah, like, I was with Kiki. We were drinking. We were having brunch. I got carried away and I was talking shit. I got comfortable. I thought I was in a safe space. I was talking shit. That was wrong of me. And we could honestly move on from it. Yeah. Really could move on. But yeah, that's really it. I mean, we end with the Gretchen coming on and, Tamara screaming like crazy. And we end with Tamara basically doing what we say we hate Tamara does. She's literally, Gretchen's coming at her. And what does she do? You've been coming after me and my family for 17 years. Blah, blah. It's enough. You attack my children. You attack this. And it's like, but Tamara, you do all these things. It's like they're showing, Gretchen's basically like, you at the reunion last time I was here was talking about me in this way. You were showing pictures this season. And instead of Tamara owning it, she's screaming about her being the victim. So it's like, Tamara's got to go.
I think we'll
gotta go.
I agree with you. I think at the very least, we just need a break. You got to recollect. You got to recollect just like Bronwyn did. She needs to sit on the edge of her bed and think about everything for a little bit.
Yep.
I do think part of me is like the cast in general might need a little bit of a shakeup.
Yeah.
But I do want to wait till the season's over. We still have some more reunion left. I think we'll get more into the Gretchen and the Tamara of it all because I want to see where this nets out. Like I want to see, right now it seems like that couch has Gretchen's back for the most part and the other couch is tolerable with Tamara. So it'll be interesting to see how it all nets out by the end of the season.
Yeah, Tamara doesn't have any more tricks left in the bag. The last trick, and I was hopeful, and maybe I was naive to believe it, was that she was going to therapy. When she announced that last reunion, she was going to therapy and she was working on herself and she realized all these things, there was hope that that's the one thing that she hasn't done. And maybe this will allow her to face herself and realize her role in some of all of this. And through this season, we have realized that she uses therapy as a crutch to be able to say, because here's the thing, anybody who's in therapy knows this. And if you haven't done therapy and you're thinking about it, know this. The therapist can only help you with what you tell them. If you're not honest in therapy, there's only so much a therapist can do. And it seems like Tamara's only telling her side or certain things in therapy, and it's not working. It can only work if you're honest.
The therapist can give you tools, but you still have to implement those tools.
Right.
And her saying like, couldn't you tell that I reacted better? And then they did the whole montage of her like screaming at different people. And Andy was like, no.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So it's just, this is who Tamara is. And if she's going to stay, it's got to work in a limited capacity as a friend of, because the manipulation, the lies, the not being able to be accountable, it's reached a level of a point where I don't want to feel stressed out watching these shows.
Yeah. I know.
And I want to tap into season 20 because it's season 20 and that's just really an incredible thing. But I can't tap in with the same Tamara. I just can't. So
yeah, it'll be interesting what they decide. I'm excited to see the end of the reunion, see where people stand. And then I can't imagine them doing season 20 without Tamara, but they got to figure something out.
Friend of. But we'll see. Well, that is it for us here on Morally Corrupt. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We're sorry, Salt Lake is too good. It could have been the whole episode, but we promised you a little bit of Potomac and Orange County, so we'll give that to you. I would imagine that we'll have a lot more to say about Orange County next week, as Gretchen will be there, and it looks like Katie's husband will be there as well. We do know that there is no Slade. To that, I think we all can say a collective hallelujah.
Yeah.
Don't need it. Love that Gretchen was able, though, to come back when she sat on the couch and specifically say what Slade does and how he contributes. But we know what we got on the show was more without thought. Without thought and without a strategy. You guys have a beautiful weekend. Have a safe weekend. We will be back on Tuesday. News of the week. I will be joined by a special guest, a guest that we've never had on the show before, which I'm excited about, who's tied into the Bravo world. That's a little bit of your teaser. Maybe I'll start doing that. Little teasers of who will join us. Somebody who's involved in the Bravo world, who has been on a show, but has never been on Morally Corrupt. So stay tuned for that. Until then, see you later. Bye, guys.
Bye.